Good morning and welcome to the reading for March 30th to April 5th. Wow, April happening already on Tuesday, and it's a very exciting time. So today I wanted to spend a little time before I get to the cards for you this week, because what typically happens with me is the angels give messages sort of all the way through the week. And this morning they were giving me that it's a very positive week energy-wise. So there's been lots of things going on this last week. But this week is a very positive energy week, and it is filled with a lot of things that will push us forward. So the energy is pushing us forward this week. One of the things that you might notice this week is that the energy will be pushing so much on you that you don't know which direction to go first. And that this is like a naturally occurring thing. So it's like you have this energy, you know that you want to be doing something, but you're just really not sure, and everything that you kind of are trying is kind of, that doesn't really feel right. So when this happens, you're to just sort of focus on service. So how can you help someone else? That's the best way for you to deal with this energy as it's coming in. If you feel that sort of anxious energy in that. And it's also a really good week to pay attention to any thoughts and ideas that are coming towards you this week, because this, like I say, is a very positive energy week for us to be moving forward. And by just allowing and focusing on that and sort of allowing it to happen, and as our thoughts and ideas come to us, just sort of going forward with them, taking a look at them. Maybe it's something that, is way out of the norm in that. So the energy is very supportive of that this week, and so pay any attention to that. It's also a very good week this morning in that it's been sort of brought to me. It's like throughout our lives in that, as we get older or even as we get younger, there's a lot of things. Not as we get younger. That was a little slip of the tongue now, wasn't it? I'm sure we'd all love to get younger, but we don't. We age anyway. What was sort of coming to me was that as we age in that, there's a lot of things that happen when we're younger, and we hang on to those, and they become points that, like we have maybe a traumatic childhood, or as we get older and that there's something that we think, my parents could have done this differently or whatever. Well, this week's energy is very supportive in helping you to release and let go of those beliefs. So everything that happens to us in our life at all times leads us to the point of where we are in our present moment. So it's always things that help us grow and evolve and become who we are. And these are all good things. So if you're holding some energy, negative energy within your body regarding how you were brought up or what happened in that, you need to really spend some time this week and just start with the first step, which is forgiving the person or people that this happened with. We are not talking about forgiving the action, because that really probably was not a good thing, and we're not forgiving the action, we're just forgiving the people. And know that if it is a parental thing and we're dealing with, and we have some angst around that our parents were doing the best that they could at every possible moment, just like we are doing the best we can at every possible moment. So be on the lookout for that. Also this weekend, this is sort of what clued me in about the parental sort of forgiveness and letting all of that go, and that to help facilitate us. This week I was given a few times I've seen crows building their nests, and that was just a really cool thing for me. And so when I see signs like that, it's like, okay, how does that apply within my life? And for me though, it was more about, okay, building my nest, building my home, that is my safety and security. So how can I improve my home this week? But then this morning there was the birds singing and that, and I just know that they are all, spring is here, it's time for a rebirth. So why not rebirth ourselves in this time and forgive past aggressions or people that have hurt us in the last all of our lives. So anyways, we're going to get to the cards now. So I'm just going to shuffle and we'll see what comes out for this week. So the first card that wants to come out, whoops, we're going to lose the card that wants to come out, is Blossoming Abundance. So this is actually a really good card. So blossoming, and that it is spring, so things are coming into our life. So when we see blossoming abundance, this card is really rather beautiful, and it doesn't show up very good on the video. However, it is a springtime scene. There's beautiful flowers, there's some birds and butterflies, and there's coins. And the coins are hanging and they're just sort of sitting all over this card. So blossoming abundance. Abundance, when we see the word abundance, we automatically always go to monetary value. But abundance is more than a monetary value. Abundance can be in all things. It can be an abundance of great friendships, of great love, of money, definitely, and everything. And this also can be an abundance of self-value and self-worth. So I'm really feeling the sense that as we move into spring, and it is a period of rebirthing, and we're blossoming abundance, and we're bringing abundance towards us and everything. So this is in all levels of how we're going to do that. So yes, if you're having a little bit of a struggle with sort of money value and that, and it's like you're having a hard time making ends meet, be on the lookout this week for an unexpected treasure to come your way, so that it just eases the pain a little bit and it just makes things flow a little more smoothly, because realistically we are all in charge of our abundance and how that happens to our life. But it is blossoming right now, so perhaps from that energy, and we talked earlier, or I talked earlier about paying attention to your thoughts and your ideas, perhaps one of your thoughts or ideas is pushing you forward and blossoming some abundance, some extra abundance in your life. So pay attention to that this week. Know that it is being divinely guided, and we're all going to be on the lookout for some blossoming abundance and see what happens. This one here wants to come out. Okay. Okay, this card did show up upside down, so I am going to read it that way. I'm going to look in the book because this is Hostilities, okay? And it's upside down. So when we have a card that comes that's reversed, and that it typically means it's the opposite of what the card actually is. So in this card we see a warrior in that, and he is prepared for battle. He has his sword drawn and he's ready, and he's got an intent look on his face, like, all right, he's ready to slay any dragons that come into his path. But because it's reversed, I kind of want to take it as he's going to join arms with other people and create more of a sense of community. And so there is less hostility. We're going to be more compassionate. We're going to be reaching out to others and maybe letting go of some judgments and sort of saying, okay, you know, what is going on in this person's life? Why are they pushing me? And do I really need to be hostile towards them? So let's just have a look here in the guidebook. So hostilities are about defenses up, aggressive energy. But when it's reversed, it marks the end of hostilities for you. There is a shift in the energies around you and even about you. And the universe is supporting your own internal shift as well. Oh, that's a very cool key, because that is sort of telling us that our internal hostilities, so how we speak to ourselves and how we act with ourselves. And so we're just going to know that this is shifting and the universe is supporting that. So this energy, this thing, and it could go back to the abundance, the blossoming abundance, because when we are not self-negative towards ourselves, then we are more open to receiving, and the more positive we are, the more that just positivity comes to us, and that it's what we're expanding out to the universe and our energy, and it's what is being coming back to us. So whether the aggressive action has ended due to external factors or your own intervention, this card bodes well for more peace and harmony. Be aware, however, that there may still be some action you have to take, and it may seem on the surface that things are slow and getting better. This card encourages you, letting you know that the inner vibrations are changing and the situation will be resolved. So this is a very good card this week for just knowing that, okay, peace and harmony is coming. So whatever was sort of giving you angst and just unsettledness and worry and stress, that is going to be shifting this week. So that's a marvelous card. And so we're going to go for one more card now and see what that brings us. There we go. Journey. This is a fantastic card. I have not actually spent any time with this card yet, so this is a pleasure to be able to give this to you guys today. So as we see, it looks like she's sprinkling fairy dust, but she's not actually. She's holding up a lantern, and from that lantern sparks are coming out, and it looks sort of like an arc, and it could be like a little fairy dust or whatever. There's a bright lamp that is on this suspension bridge, with one side of the suspension bridge is not being held by anything. That gives me a little pause for concern. I don't know if you've ever gone on a suspension bridge. They're really kind of a little scary. And that the signpost that is at the end, and that has Crossroads, Scenic View, Circus Town, and one other one that I can't quite read, but there's lots of magic in the air around it, in the energy. She has her bags packed. She's got quite a heavy load. It's like she's starting out on a new adventure in life. It's very beautiful. Anyways, okay, so starting off on a new adventure, I was just talking about spring and being the time of rebirth, and how, you know, we're all kind of moving forward, and we have this energy that's just pushing us this week to just move forward and do something. And it's like we are ready for spring, and it's like, what can we do? Okay, this girl is going on a journey. So this I'm really am getting internally, in that this is not a journey to different places, although it could be, but it's more of a personal internal journey. And it's more of like, okay, how are you rebirthing yourself this spring, and where are you going to? And it's like crossroads. Okay, so which direction are you going to take? What options are available to you? Then there's Circus Town. Well, that tells me that it's kind of like, okay, do you have expectations that are a little highly elevated and that they can't really be realistic? And maybe you need to pull back a little bit on that and see what's, you know, what realistic options you can do to shift your life and to have your own rebirth. There are many who are tired of winter right now, and I'm really getting that all of you would just love to move to some place different, that is warmer, and where you're not having winter for, you know, 6 months. At least that's what it probably seems like you've had it for. However, you know, the grass is not always greener on the other side. And I think that this card is speaking to us about that. Before we set off on a journey, we need to discern and make sure that it is right for us and it is the right time. Are you just wanting to go on a journey? Are you shifting things within yourself because it's just like nothing's going right, and it's like the runaway factor? Don't run away from your situations and your problems. You need to actually sit there and sort of work through them, because if you run away from them, they're going to just continue being with you on your journey. And that I'm going to read this card as well, so just bear with me for one moment, please. Movement, relocation, and travel. Pack your bags. The journey card foretells upcoming travel or a shift in location. It may be as simple as a vacation, retreat, or class, or even work-related travel. This card could also signal a move of residence or a job relocation. The upright position indicates that the plans should go off without a hitch. Still, be clear about your motivations and mindful of regrets. Well, mindful of logistics, but I think regrets is also a good word to have in there. All of life is a journey, and this card is telling you that you have some exciting and inspiring adventures ahead. So spring, of course, is the time when we start laying our dreams, planting our dreams, and hoping that they bear wonderful fruits and that we can harvest from now until next winter. So today, there's your reading. I thank you all for joining me. It's always a lot of fun for me to do this. And if you would like a little extra help or you need some clarity on this, just give me a call. Drop me an email, find me on Facebook. My email is, my website is www.merlina.com. Facebook, I'm Marlene Cobb. So, I thank you all, and I wish you all a bright, blessed week filled with lots of adventure, lots of positive energy coming your way. And how are you building your nest this week? Are you going off on an exciting trip? Watch your ideas. Until next week, have a great one.